An entry from the diary of Raphael. I was born in Carthage in 148 BCE and was orphaned at the age of 5. The Third Punic War had taken away my parents and grandparents in Rome's attack on Carthage. Sitting in the orphanage, I had one day asked our caretaker why all this had to happen. She told me, "The Punic Wars was a series of 3 wars between Rome and Carthage. This all led to the creation of the Roman Empire. In the First Punic War, Rome wanted Sicily, an island, which was controlled by the Carthaginians. Rome won, but this war made them realize that they needed a navy. Seeking revenge, Carthage began the Second Punic War by attacking through the Alps with elephants led by Hannibal. Hannibal almost won, but he didn't, and as a result, Rome acquired Spain. Since the Spaniards are nothing like the Romans, it allowed Rome to have a diversity of people. In the Third Punic War, the one your parents were killed in, Rome instigated and destroyed our home so that it would never return again. Already, this area and many others are being incorporated into a system of provinces, and millions are being ruled by Rome. This diversity of people has become more loyal to generals rather than the idea of the Republic. Rome's realization that it needed a navy, its conquering of Spain, and their need to protect themselves with legions has led to the Roman Empire that we are a part of today, Raphael." An entry from the diary of Leonardo. I was born in 60 BCE to a wealthy patrician family. I'm a second cousin of Julius Caesar. The day I was born, a major change occurred in Rome. The first triumvirate of Crassus, Caesar, and Pompey was created in Rome. The triumvirate wasn't very successful, as each of these men competed for power, and it led to a single leader who centralized the government. As a relative of Caesar, this was great, because Caesar became the all-powerful ruler of Rome. Both Pompey and Crassus died, and this destroyed the balance between the Senate and the consul. Without this balance, I saw that something bigger was happening. Caesar's power came from his loyal army, and they owned the city. If not for this radical change in leadership, Rome still might be the republic that it once was. But Caesar had planted a seed of idea in the minds of many. The constitution was changed, the ideas of a republic destroyed, and because of emergency powers in time of war, Caesar had the opportunity to expand Rome into new territories. Caesar also appealed to the poor by giving many plebeians seats in the Senate. He evened the division of wealth and was only murdered when the Senate believed that it was in their best intentions to protect a so-called democratic society. When our beloved Caesar was murdered by the Senate, we realized that the Senate was corrupt and turned to a new form of government under Octavian, my cousin. All of this began with the formation of the triumvirate because the Senate's want for prosperity allowed Caesar to develop too powerful an army, and this led to a result that no one expected: the Roman Empire. An entry from the diary of Donatello. I was born in 455 BCE into the plebeian class of Rome. Now my life has been surrounded by an uproar of the plebeians for more representation, and I have been a central influence in this movement. From a young age, I led the plebeians against the patricians and strove for a plebeian council for representation in the government. While looking around me, I had eventually realized that land is power. Land is what separated the patricians from the plebeians, and that without land, we would never be able to increase our status in society. And I proved right. When the plebeian council was created, the only result was an increase in patricians who were formerly the leaders of the plebeians. The problem is that land will always be a problem, and the only solution I can think of is to take the lands of those outside of Rome. But this means our way of life and leadership will change. But the want for land is what fuels the disagreement between the rich and poor. Even if Rome develops into an empire and expands, I believe that the want for land will continue to fuel many conflicts for centuries, no matter who is in charge or what kind of government is in power. All of this conflict is a result of a social class division with a government that accentuates the difference between those with land and those without. An entry from the diary of Michelangelo. I was born into a wealthy family in the center of Rome in 73 BCE. My father was a member of the Senate. I followed his footsteps and helped control the internal issues of Rome. Recently, Caesar was tragically and brutally murdered. This was the beginning of Rome's transition from a republic to an empire. Following his assassination, an uproar in Rome occurred. The plebeians rioted, forcing Caesar's killers out of Rome. After Antony defeated them, he formed the Second Triumvirate with Octavian and Lepidus. Eventually, a rivalry grew between Octavian and Antony. This led to another civil war. Octavian emerged victorious and became the sole ruler of Rome. The Senate then gave him the title Augustus, and as we know him today, became Caesar Augustus. After this, the start of a period of peace and stability known as the Pax Romana began. Rome prospered through contact like trade and communication with other parts of the world. They also became an empire because there was an effect similar to the domino theory, which led to Augustus eventually taking charge of Rome. Rome's transition to an empire unified them and brought peace, prosperity, and power for years to come. All this was the result of one man's death that only occurred because of a corrupt Senate with the ideals of protecting their democratic society over the prosperity of their people. An entry from the diary of Flavius. Throughout the Roman era, we have had a strong military and expanded. During the Punic Wars, we took over Carthage. While the Triumvirate was in charge, our empire expanded more. During Augustus's rule, we controlled almost all European land through war. The continual military expansion established the empire because it created loyalty to the general in charge, causing a unified government. This is all a result of the want for expansion and power.